The homemade. Wow, Debbie, you fancy. Send us a picture. 646. Let's go into the KUAM News Zoom room here on this Wednesday. It's the Link, the Breeze. 93.9, where we're going into our Zoom room. A little different, as we usually interview Guam residents in Guam quarantine. But we have Monica Broussard, who is a Guam resident, currently quarantined in Hawaii. Good morning, Monica.
Good morning.
And let's just give a little background here. Now, you traveled from Guam to Hawaii. You're actually medevaced with your daughter, who is undergoing surgery there in Hawaii.
Exactly.
And so tell us what happened. You got medevac from here. You got to Hawaii. Tell us what happened.
So our medevac is a little different. We didn't take a commercial medevac. It is a contracted medevac, which I don't understand why the quarantine rules are a little bit different. However, we tried to do everything before we left Guam, applying for exemptions. However, we were denied at the time and was told that we can reapply. So with that said, we were also given a few local numbers here in Hawaii to reach out to in the event that we needed some assistance. It's the Guam Medical Referral Office. And so we reached out and we were unsuccessful with that number.
As in disconnected, or as in no one's answering the phone? Oh, disconnected? Oh.
Yeah. We even researched online for any other numbers. I tried to call the local number there on Guam. And unfortunately, when you go on their website or even try, they say due to COVID, it's closed. So fortunate enough for my family and I, we are military retirees. And so there has been a number of people that reached out. The medical team has been spectacular in assisting us. They were nice enough to bring me all the way to my hotel stay. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, we would have had to fend for ourselves, and I would have been left at the airport. And the airport that we fly into is not the normal airport. It's the smaller, it's called Signature Airport. They had spoken about a family that just came in the same way a few days prior, and they were in the same situation. Guam Medical Referral Office was not answering. And so it's very unfortunate when you have to travel this far and you're expecting that, and numbers were given, and then there's just nothing, no help in that aspect. And then you come to Hawaii and you go straight into quarantine. I don't know what to say. I guess it's called a parent's worst nightmare. You can't be by the bedside of your child. Mm-hmm. So it's, and they said it's because my daughter's an adult. However, situations may vary, but the only time you can actually break quarantine is in case of an emergency. Mm-hmm. And you still have to have the hospital and the COVID exemption team give you that just for emergency.
And it kind of seems like the Guam Medical Referral Office would be the body as a quasi-governmental agency that would facilitate the discussions with the COVID exemption team and the quarantine people in Hawaii.
Yep. But I have not, I still try to call that number. It's disconnected.
Monica, this is, I did a story on the Guam Medical Referral Office, I think it was about over a year ago.
Yeah.
Similar situation. There's always problems with this, but I'm just thinking, I'm of the mindset that during the pandemic, probably it would be essential to have maybe the Guam Medical Referral Office up and running for our people like you.
Yes. Yeah, it's been, I will tell you this. When we first found out we were getting medevac, it was less than a week before we had to leave. When they told us, they said, okay, you'll be leaving in about 3 to 4 days. 3 to 4 days is not a lot of time to get everything in order, paperwork, book your stay. And then the worst part is we have family and friends here, but we cannot go stay with them. The state of Hawaii will not allow you to stay at a resident.
Mm-hmm. How long have you been there? Has your daughter had her surgery yet? Oh.
Yeah, she had it yesterday and it was successful. She's not in pain like she was. So a good thing is we have telephone. So I get to speak to her all the time. The nurses and the at Tripler, they're very good. They contact me all the time. Um, she still has some things attached to her, unfortunately, until they monitor her and say she's okay. Um, so we are scheduled to come back in 4 months. The follow up required for her is to fly back here in 4 months. Going through all of this, I'm hoping that we are out of somewhat, the pandemic has probably eased up then. So with this experience, at least we know what to expect when we come back again.
What was the number you were given? Do you have that on you?
Um,
No, it's okay. We can get it over after.
it's the one,
meeting.
it's actually, so they gave me a piece of paper, they gave me a number, and then when I went to research it online, it's the same number. There's
Right.
no other number that they have.
Who gave you the number?
The case management over at Naval Hospital.
Okay.
And so, the number that they give you here also is the same number.
Monica, so when the Naval Hospital people gave you that number, did they say anything like, "Oh, good luck calling this"?
No, that's another story I'd like to share. That's another story I'd like to share in the future. And as a matter of fact, my husband and I were going to make it a personal goal to assist families in our situation in the future, just to kind of write. I'm writing down details of everything you need to do to prepare yourself for this type of situation. It's a big miss. It's really unfortunate that families have to go through this kind of thing. I never understood it. Now I have I have a better understanding of what it takes, all the effort. It's just, it's an exhausting process.
It is, and just to provide a little background, what the Guam Medical Referral Office is supposed to do. Well, first they're supposed to answer the phone, but
Yes.
they can provide. It's almost like concierge services where they would facilitate between you and the clinic and appointments, and we know that they also offer a shuttle service. We've been told that they also can help with accommodations. So there's a lot of stuff that they can do to make it easier for our Guam residents who, unfortunately, because our healthcare system has been largely ignored by the people in power. Our people have no choice but to travel to the Philippines, which is almost impossible to do right now in this pandemic, or to Hawaii, or to Los Angeles, where we're supposed to have all these medical referral offices stood up in these locations because our people go there. So did you feel abandoned, alone, maybe even betrayed?
Oh yes, definitely. I definitely feel that way. Like I said, if it wasn't for the medical transport team that brought us here and brought me all the way to my hotel, I would have been left at that airport to fend for myself. And unfortunately, when you're here and you have to be quarantined, you're not allowed to rent a car until after your quarantine period.
Did you have to take a test before going to Hawaii? Or did
No,
No.
I did not have to take a test. As a matter of fact, here's a crazy thing. So coming here, being quarantined, you pay for your own accommodations, you pay for your own meals, you have to fend for yourself. Before you come here 24 hours in advance, you have to apply for the safe travels thing. And then after you apply for that, you have to check in every day. You log on and you check in every day to sign in. There, you just tell them if you have symptoms or not. And then they don't give you a COVID test while you're in quarantine.
So you pay for everything. Everything.
You pay for,
That's-
yes.
Is there a government quarantine hotel? I mean, is there one designated hotel that everybody goes to, or it's just whatever hotel
No.
you choose?
It's whatever hotel you choose, which is probably a good thing, because then, you know, we were able to put ourselves up in at least a good hotel so that we're comfortable throughout this period. So you check in every day. Here is what the hotels were, what do you call it? They were told to do. So when you check in, they give you a one-time key card. And that one-time key card is basically to let you in your room. You can open your door and you can accept stuff from family or friends, and they actually bring it up themselves. Unlike Guam, where you drop it off, here they come all the way to your door. They
Wow.
just can't come in your room.
How will they know though?
Because security brings them up.
Oh, I see.
So if you leave your room, when your door closes, you can't come back in. You have to go to the front desk to get back in your room, and that's when they know you've broken quarantine.
But you said you had applied for an exemption, correct?
Yes,
Did
correct.
did they tell you why they denied it?
Because of their current lockdown situation. And so what happens is, even if Tripler is its own hospital, they still follow the local government's lockdown.
We did get some comments here. Seth Evangelista writes, she's in Hawaii too, I think. She said, Guam medical referral is running and we were assisted too. Elaine writes, Monica, sorry you went through all of that. Seth again comments, it's an expensive quarantine here in Hawaii.
Yes.
Right. And when are you scheduled to leave Hawaii, Monica, and come back to Guam? Do you know already?
We're looking at probably the 5th or 6th. I have to wait for my daughter's release first. Everything is dependent upon her release on when we leave Hawaii. So thankfully enough, my quarantine will be probably over a day or two before we leave.
Right.
And then that's another part. We come back to Guam and we go straight into quarantine again.
I know. I was going to say. Have you done any work to try and? There's a whole process for the Guam quarantine. Do you have any parties in the Department of Public Health and Social Services? The close relatives?
Man, I don't know if my last name is gonna allow me to get that exemption.
Broussard, what's your?
Maybe I could have.
Use your
Maybe
maiden
if
name.
I kept my maiden.
Yeah, now
Maybe
you're.
if I kept my maiden name.
What is it, Leon Guerrero?
It's Rivera,
That's
unfortunately.
all right. On yeah. So you just say, hey, land management. I'm tight with Joe. Then boom, right through. You're gonna get through. Hey, in the comments, Monica, someone put a number here that you can try. I know that you Googled the number and you weren't able to get through, but there is somebody had put a 1-808-397-1645.
Does that number sound familiar?
Well, I'm sending it to her too.
And Jason will
Okay.
WhatsApp it to you. Right.
1-808.
1-808, brother. 397-1645.
Yeah, we just sent it to her.
That looks almost familiar.
Right.
I think that's the same one. I can try it though.
Right. I've had problems too, Monica, when I did a story trying to call the medical referral. It was like, I felt like the marshal trying to call somebody who owes a bill. They just never answered.
Yeah, it's really, and my daughter, when she gets released, I have to make arrangements for that as well.
Right.
Because I can't break quarantine. So I have to go out and look for somebody to pick her up.
Right. And we put in the ask to Adelup Press Secretary Crystal Paco San Augustine just for an update with the medical referral office, and maybe we could get some updated numbers or an explanation or something, Monica, and we'll keep you posted, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Anything in closing you want to add to the people of Guam?
Yeah, coming back, they could, if they have any questions regarding some sort of medivac, especially for, I know it doesn't help, but especially for those military retirees that have to be medevac, I'm willing to assist in the process, and just to kind of cut the time down and the exhaustion and the effort, just to kind of give them a little insight on what it takes to get to this point, expectations, and I'm keeping all the numbers I have here and who to contact and in advance, so that when they get here, you know, they have that ease in their mind, and that, you know, when they get here, all they have to worry about is their loved one. And, you know, I hope and pray that nobody ever has to go through this at this time again, because it's rough. It's really rough.
Yeah, I could hear it. I know when we talked yesterday, you're pretty choked up. Monica, can you show us the room at all? I'm just a little curious about the Hawaii quarantine.
Sure. Let me show you. I'm gonna turn this camera around.
What hotel are you at?
I am at the Ala Moana Hotel.
Oh, brother, the Ala Moana.
Well, you know what? I have to be grateful. I have my husband who wants to set us up in comfort. So.
Wow. Aloha.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really nice. And, you know, at least we get to go out and get some fresh air on the balcony.
Yeah. It looks pretty dead down there. Can you face the street again?
Oh, yeah, it is. So I'm going to show you where the mall is, and it's really dead.
Okay.
So that's kind of the parking lot.
Oh.
You know, I've never been to Hawaii except the airport.
Yeah, that's Waikiki over there.
Oh yeah.
Right there.
Monica, this is Jason Salas. I've been there. I've been there many times. I love Ala Moana Mall. I'm a mall rat, so yeah.
And it's very empty.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, that's heartbreaking, but.
It's very empty, so I'm actually happy that I get to at least see that, you know.
Yeah.
You come here and you want to go to the different stores, but you know, my reason for coming here is basically for my daughter. I can't even do that.
Yeah. Feel you.
How old's your daughter?
She is 21.
Oh, she's young.
That's still a baby right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, your child will always be a child no matter the age.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. We're just getting some comments. It's like Holy Week here. Sev Evangelista is also out there. I don't know if she's in the same hotel. She says it's like Holy Week here. Nothing is happening.
Nothing is happening at all.
Wow. And I read something about Hawaii. I think they're obviously on some kind of lockdown, but.
Yes. And then we were told that either Thursday or Wednesday or Thursday this week, they're lifting some restrictions, but that restrictions is for local people, not for people in quarantine.
Oh, you can just pretend you're one Hawaiian. You just walk around like, no, I stay local, brother. Oh.
They sent me a thing, and it says that the fine here is $5,000.
Damn, boy. Sounds like they hate your morals. That's why you should stay in.
I mean, good thing I have cousins here and friends here that are Chamorros, so, you know, we could get a little Chamorro going around here.
Right. That's right. And you gotta get them to get all the stuff that, you know, when people go to Hawaii, they want to bring back the chantilly cake. They want to bring back the cornflake cookies.
Do you know, though, Monica, if they have, like, you know how on Guam we have essential businesses that are allowed to open? Do you know if that's the case over there?
Yes, there is. As a matter of fact, you know, Hawaii, they have my daughter was just joking with me earlier. She said, oh, Mom, we get to finally try Grubhub, DoorDash, Postmates, Uber Eats. And I was laughing. I said, you know, okay, just come to me, and then we can do whatever you want.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if the Guam Medical Referral Office in Hawaii is closed because actually you said the number doesn't even work. It's not, so
it does not.
Do they have an email?
Yes. What's that?
An email. Tried emailing.
You know, I was looking for one online, and I didn't see anything.
Yeah, there definitely should be an easier way to get a hold of them.
I don't see one either.
Yeah.
And
And Bree's she's a pretty good Googler, Monica. I would say she's a black belt Googler.
Well, you know, my husband likes to say women make the best FBI agents.
Oh, yeah.
I can't
confirm or deny.
I can't fight him on that one.
Yeah, okay, Monica. Okay, Bree.
Thank you for lifting my spirits.
Yeah, you know, hey.
Yeah. You take care.
Thank you.
Keep us posted, okay?
Prayers for your daughter.
I will.
All
I
right.
will. Thank you so much.
Okay.
And that was a hint about the cornflake cookies. I'm just kidding, Monica. God bless you and your daughter, and we hope it works out for you guys, and keep us posted, okay?
Okay, thank you so much.
All right, adjust.
Adjust.
Wash your hands. That's Monica Broussard, Guam resident in Hawaii, quarantine.
Medevaced, right, with her daughter, so that she could have
Surgery.
right?
Yeah.
And she wasn't able to be there by her side because she was stuck in quarantine. Which, by the way, I guess the way it works in Hawaii, or at least in Monica's situation, she's having to pay for it
Right.
on her own dime.
The self-pay.
Yeah.
And the one thing that really stuck out to me about that interview, and just Monica's, she said like her sense of humor, she's staying positive and everything. When she said, she goes, I'm documenting and I'm chronicling everything I'm doing, and my husband and I want to help people when this is, when we're through with our experience, so that others don't have to do that. She could very easily just say, I'm upset at this thing. I had a negative experience. Screw everybody who helped me. Screw you. Screw this and everything. No, she's saying, I'm going to do enough amalik, and I'm going to take care so that people don't have to go through what
I'm going to take these lemons and make finna denny.
That's an angel on earth, man.
So people are putting numbers in the comments here.
All right.
If you're seeing that, Monica. Apparently people got the in on the Guam Medical Referral Office. Oh, Bree's calling. Right, at 7:07, guys, we're going to take a short break.
This number's not working.
And we're going to...
No, the one that's on their website.
I think Miss Maria Pangolina is also calling the medical referral because she's on the phone in our Zoom room. We're going to get right back to Miss Maria Pangolina and also Dr. Hoa Wen coming up on the show here. And we've also got Charles Estevez, Civil Defense Administrator. My son messaged me last night. Dad, is China going to bomb us?
Oh my goodness, my son asked me when
Yeah.
I got home.
Yeah. And then he put freaking China with like the mad emoji.
Bree, your son actually made a TikTok about that last night.
You're kidding me.
I was going through it, and I was really sad, and I was like, wow, but it shows the awareness of it, and it shows how that generation is responding to this with, when news like this comes out. That's how they know how to communicate. But I was like, and he was saying, apparently you didn't see it, but I was like, man, my nephew's like, he's taking to TikTok to communicate with his friends.
You are supposed to call me and let me know what he's doing the moment he does it.